Yeah. It was never forgotten. It's just, if I keep talking about it, you'll know my plan and work against it, so...
So we know the plan now.
Well, the plan is completely changed. We have no mobility anymore. Unless you want to use the helicopter. Which, they'll shoot it down.
Mm-hmm. Assuming they're even
The
there.
plan or the helicopter?
Well, I mean, if we went after high-priority targets, it would get shot down.
Yeah. As far as Jax and Riggs are aware, they're sure that everything has been relocated by this point.
I would not be at all surprised if everything is being moved out to NORAD.
The Cheyenne Mountain Range to the Stargate project.
Like 8 miles underground or some shit.
So Riggs will volunteer that upon completion of the mission, they were, because they didn't know where the next meeting point would be, they were supposed to call into a particular frequency, and through that proxy, Dr. Knight would be informed of the situation, and through there a delivery would be had, but there's no telling where exactly that would be, and...
Who would they be delivering us supposedly to?
Well, the only person who could possibly be important enough, and that would be Dr. Knight himself, or at least that would be the thought.
I'll have to think on this.
So if you really want to suicide your mission, because there's no guarantee what the situation would be, where the delivery would be made, probably a military installation of some kind, but had to be involved that Dr. Franklin Knight would be involved, and the slimy Lucius Thoran. Maybe even one of the 19 generals.
I'm still not entirely convinced there's only one, but there could have only been one.
You're willing to concede there
You
might
were
have only...
on a lot of drugs.
I can't...
So many drugs.
I'm basically agnostic about the general.
Agnostic.
I can't prove that
agnostic.
there was only one, but I can't prove that there were 5, so
All
the
praise
general
to the general.
might exist.
I'm generally
There was at least
agnostic.
one general.
Yes, generally agnostic.
Oh, that was a good pun.
It was.
I'm really proud.
Underwhelming.
No, I'm really proud of it. That was a great pun.
See, like, I would
Fair.
love to some way to like expose Knight and the spook into some situation where we could cause them harm, but I don't really expect to be able to think of anything that would be reasonable. Especially if this helicopter doesn't have any external weapons.
It does not, no.
Maybe just lob the egg room at them through some, I don't know.
Like, the best we could hope for would be to claim that the helicopter has gone out of commission and a pickup needs to be sent for them. But that would not likely bring Knight.
No. That can be something that would easily be confirmed. There's a little way he would endanger himself in such a fashion.
Right, so it's just probably not going to happen. Yet. We'll get there.
He's busy with his research, ostensibly towards finding a way to end all of this with the help of Dr. Cross.
Like, the only thing that maybe could bring him here is if they reported something... Like, if we could somehow think up a way that he needs to come and do something with one of his experiments in order for it to be extracted. That might work, but it would bring extra soldiers.
Here come the dead
That
soldiers.
just means extra loot, right?
Well, yeah.
If watching you play Liberal
like
Crime
an
Squad
LCS
means anything,
siege.
yes.
We'll never have to reload an M16 again.
Yeah. Oh, just get some fresh M16s.
It's everything I learned. Until
mean,
the CIA bombards your compound.
Yeah, well, we're not playing in that version.
Yeah, we're not playing Nightmare mode.
We don't have to buy the $500,000 AA gun that gets destroyed instantly.
Jonathan S. Fox talked to me about that, said that was a bug. That was an oversight. They fixed that pretty fast. The whole
Not
AA
like
gun not being effective.
Not
You
like
say
it's
bug, I
stopped.
say feature.
But Yeah, that's actually a potential possibility.
If
A potential possibility.
if you can come up with some sort of convincing a way to somehow make that work, none of the soldiers are willing to pitch this idea simply because they don't think they would like it would be a sell. You would have to sell them on the idea.
If assumedly they are still quote unquote working for Knight,
Yes.
and Knight knows that there are already 6 soldiers here, he wouldn't have to bring an entire squadron with him for protection, because they could easily say they have the place secure.
Right, it might just be another fire team.
Right, or it could just be a few, maybe 2 extra guys, maybe 4, maybe 6, but
Probably a whole platoon of people that speak Nazi.
We want you to tell us what you know.
I would actually pose that I would like everybody's assistance on coming up with some way to make this work. We need their equipment, and if he still has it out for us, we kind of need to take care of that. I would say right now that might equate to like a level 3 adversary.
The first problem right here is that we've got to get the frequency out of the friend Oakleys over here.
No. The first problem here is that you're assuming that we can make this work.
I never said it would work. I mean,
I'm not going to assume it can't work. I mean, what's the point in trying to do anything if you assume it's all going to fail?
I'm not assuming it's all going to fail. I'm assuming that this is going to fail.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, brainstorm.
Okay.
Brainstorm, level 1 intelligence, man? Nah!
I think this is, like, it's a good concept of how to get him to force he himself to come here.
Okay.
You're also thinking that the frequency still works.
Why wouldn't it? They've just arrived.
Shit happens.
It's not like the 2 weeks or 3 weeks have already passed.
If the 4 of you come up with a good plan through which you can use the helicopter's communications, the soldiers will allow you to do so. However, for the time being, it's a no-sell. If only because there's some concern that it might do more harm than good.
And Trusty Tony really
I would
doesn't.
say I don't expect Knight to be working within the... And they might even be able to confirm this. He doesn't really care about oversight. Like, he's probably not sharing all of his details with all the other people he works with.
No, he's not a share.
So I wouldn't expect him to lay out a proper flight plan and tell everybody where he's going and when to check in with him, etc., especially if he thinks the place is already secure. Like, we would definitely have the advantage.
An advantage.
If 6 guys suddenly turn on him and we are also loaned or have weapons to turn on him, it's
Assuming he shows up personally alone by himself. Yeah.
If we could convince him that some of his experiments require he himself to come unlock some stuff so it can be extracted, he's the only one that could do it.
Right, and he wouldn't come with bodyguards because...
Well, he would, but not 20 if the place is already secure and he has soldiers on site to quote-unquote protect him. And then those soldiers suddenly turn on him and his 3 bodyguards, maybe.
One concern that Jax will bring up is that the 4 of you are in ill condition. If such a firefight, even if Knight did arrive, and even if there was only a small force, even if you had an entrenched advantageous position, you are not of the best health.
Basically, he's saying one stray bullet will kill us.
That's how it's always been. Whether we have 1 hit point or 30, 1 stray bullet would probably kill us.
There's a difference between probably and could.
I try not to worry about the little things.
Well, those are
Like
the things you
hit
should
points.
be worrying about.
Hit points are just a number.
No, they're not.
Hit points are just a number.
Don't you fucking use DDR logic on this shit?
No, they're not.
See, like, I'm not expecting a firefight. I'm expecting...
See,
They
that's the
think they're
problem.
safe.
You're not expecting a firefight.
Well, they're not going to land an open fire.
Right.
So he walks out with his 3 bodyguards, and the 6 soldiers are there, and it looks like they have us secured, or they say they have us secured in a room, etc., and it looks like we are.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden we just open fire. Like, I'm not expecting the whole, oh, Knight, it's good to see you again. I'm so glad we've lured you into the trap. No, you just shoot him and the rest of them. Like, don't give them the chance.
But what about the satisfying B-rated, verbal confrontation?
Well, assuming he gets to make, because he's a significant character, if he gets to make survival checks, there's a good chance he might survive. He also might not really be armed himself much to begin with. Like, come on, the head Nazi killed himself when he was forced into a corner. Like, I don't see
And
this
you
guy
think
putting up
this
much more
Nazi
of a
might do
fight.
the same.
He would give up. Maybe.
Sure. It's a bad idea.
It's really not.
It really is.
You're just thinking it's a bad idea because
Because
you
it's a
don't wanna do it.
terrible idea. Yeah, I
It's
agree.
an awesome idea. I don't think we should avoid every
Oh
opportunity.
no, I'll agree with
to-
that. It's definitely an awesome idea. It would
Or is-
leave us with stories to tell.
Like, come on, he still wants us back. He's not just going to leave us alone. Especially now if he realizes, like, oh, they either killed or have turned my strike force, they might just straight up bomb us.
Jax will note that the instructions were to take you for alive, preferably. But
Right,
if
but it-
necessary, dead. Especially Anthony. He's such a fighter.
And if we, quote unquote, prove that we could take out a trained military team sent to collect or kill us, like, that just incentivizes them to just blast us. It's not just for
And
it's,
taking out Knight totally doesn't do that either.
if he's the only one that really knows much of anything about us, that takes care of the problem. I doubt the rest of the government really gives a shit about us.
Your plans involve a lot of assumptions.
You know what happens when you assume things?
You're usually right, but when you're not, it's catastrophic.
Yeah. I don't want you to be wrong.
Fun with an exclamation point?
Heuristics.
Capital F fun.
Yes, capital FUN, exclamation, fun.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Aaron, you love suffering. Why are you against this?
Hey,
Best case, you might be captured and tortured again.
no. I enjoy my character suffering because it creates drama.
How does dealing with somebody who's trying to murder or kidnap us not drama?
When we die,
A tense
immediately,
situation of
anticlimactically,
high threat. How is that not drama?
because you might die anticlimactically.
That's how we're going to die anyway. I mean, come on, Tony rounds
Say
a corner
that.
and takes a shotgun shell to the stomach. Like, wouldn't that be a pretty anticlimactic death?
Yeah, it almost was.
You got bit by a
But-
rat. Like, wouldn't that have been a pretty anticlimactic death?
Yeah, I was kind of milking it.
Is Cheryl and Aiden both very anticlimactic deaths? Like, that's how
Oh
you
no,
die.
those were incredibly well.
Well, Cheryl's was a bit
Cheryl's
more so,
was climactic.
Gotta blow the head off.
because she, pulled.
Yeah,
a
there was all
bank.
kinds of build up on that one. That was awesome.
Aiden dies in his sleep with every possibility that the people watching don't notice, and he fucking gets up and nods them.
But they had the fucking danger since Spider-Man MacGannigan there. Like,
The bold and the brave.
Well, Danger Sense Spider-Man MacGannigan did not notice his helicopter coming until it already landed.
That wasn't a danger. They were on our side.
You didn't know that.
You got to think of the meta game.
The meta game.
Don't you tell me don't think in the metagame. I am the metagame!
Of course you don't have danger sense towards something that isn't a danger.
Of course your Auspex wouldn't warn you.
I mean, come on. They consider you the most important one of the entire group.
Rightly so.
You know, that attitude has been significantly challenged.
Challenged or just completely thrown out?
Well, hey. He has now picked up ag science.
You might have to tell Trusty Tony to kill every farmer he comes across who ventures to the base. Because if they find a replacement for Eugene...
They find a real farmer. He's fucked.
Hey, he can always fall back on metalworking.
I could always fall back on
Then
my...
we just have to kill every farmer in metalwork.
Well, I could always fall back on growing pot. Guess I could just...
You'll just have to kill him.
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, he'll just turn into a drug dealer.
I'm just your friendly neighborhood drug dealer.
Seriously, though, I'd like to explore this idea of trying to get Knight here to get him off.
Right,
our
I
back.
get that. And as soon as you come up with an idea, I can actually build off of.
Oh, haven't I already come up with the basis of how to get him here? Like, that was the biggest problem.
Yeah, no, you've definitely come up with the base of how to get him here, but
Yeah,
surviving his arrival.
that's,
I don't think he's going to show up without stacking the deck in his favor.
even
He
if...
already thinks it is.
Does he?
Does
Well,
he?
that's the concept. We want to make it sound like we are already captured, they've secured the area, etc., etc. All they need him to do is show up, do his thing, and leave.
Right.
If he
But what
already
makes you
thinks
think
the
he still wouldn't show up with overwhelming force?
because the overwhelming force is already here.
Well,
But is it?
It just seems...
Okay, then we could ask them, what kind of personal contingent does he usually travel with?
In which case, Jax would tell you that he's not sure.
Is he normally surrounded by tons and tons of soldiers who seem to be acting for him, or as they have kind of explained, aren't you his personal mercenary team?
Jax would say that they're not his personal. They're not his personal mercenary team. Although Jax has helped Dr. Knight in numerous instances. If Dr. Knight were able to cherry pick everything, though, Jax
Zane wouldn't be here.
Yeah, there would have been a better team assembled here.
Like, I have a feeling, especially right now, if Knight's sending out all of his people to collect his things before they go into hiding, like, his forces are already spread out. This is the time to hit him.
But Riggs, who is a sourpuss pessimist, will state that perhaps the whole plan was for this fire team here to assemble and gather this intelligence, and then Dr. Knight snuffed them all out. That's part of why they went renegade.
Isn't that
Because
more
he
of a
treats
reason?
people as disposable.
Well,
He's going to cooperate, or he's going to pretend to be on your side as long as he thinks that you're still helping him get his things.
but if Dr. Knight needs to come to Fort Drake anyway, it's possible he might bring the force to wipe the fire team, and then take his own fucking helicopter and take all the shit that he needs, if he has to be here anyway.
If that was the case, why wouldn't he have sent that fire team to begin with?
He's a villain.
He doesn't need a...
Stole this thing. This idiot Bob.
Apparently, history is littered with rumors about Dr. Knight, ending people, so, there's no telling. I mean, they already joke about him being the zombie master.
If you guys have now betrayed him and he wanted you dead, isn't he going to still try to do something about that?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Well, that's a question.
They
posed
just
to
made the
soldiers.
statement of, if he's forced to go somewhere personally, he might just wipe everything clean to prepare his arrival.
They don't know, and quite
But
frankly, if he goes into hiding, at least Jax would explain, and the others would, except for Ace, because Ace doesn't fucking talk, he doesn't fucking care about this shit. Whatever, he's more important than any of them. Jax would explain that Dr. Knight, out of sight, out of mind, if he's going to go into hiding, then there's no way he can access this base.
But he's going into hiding in a place that has access to the missile silos of the country.
Presumably.
If they're heading out west to go hide in NORAD, yeah.
That's where talk of the remnants now of the United States military will be relocating.
So do we want somebody there who's likely to persuade them that any missile strikes to try to clean up some of this mess should kind of be pointed at us?
Again, as opposed to what? And give me a scenario I think we can survive.
Okay, if they go there and he decides he wants to wipe us and the quote-unquote traitor soldiers clean, wouldn't they just fire long-range missiles or drop bombs?
Here's the thing.
That's a
all
guaranteed
of your
death.
ideas involve a lot of ifs and hypotheticals and what-ifs and maybes.
That's all there is to work with when you don't have intelligence
That's my
agents in the
point.
field.
Ryan's saying that it's possible that by not doing anything, the base might be condemned anyway.
I get that.
Which would be a guaranteed death. Unless we abandon what we're now building.
An actual risk.
Of course it is, if he's known for taking care of his loose ends.
He's not really known for taking care of his loose ends. He sort of just
He's known for cleaning.
he just sort of left us there.
Isn't
and
cleaning house another? No, he
that's
just sent people to take care of us as a loose end. He's already proven he'll do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have a track record of that succeeding, so I'm not.
Tell you what, how about we just fish out those fucking trackers,
The
destroy
only
them,
The
and
only
hope
reason
that he's not going to bomb an empty base for no fucking reason.
the only reason these guys didn't succeed is because they didn't want to die.
Ace will suggest that perhaps the transponders could be taken to another location.
Seriously.
Right.
Yeah, and
But-
then he'll bomb that, and they'll be like, they're dead.
Throw them into that fucking cult town or something.
Don't need to,
If we're assuming that he is a true villain in this series,
I'm
That
not.
won't
I'm assuming
stop
he
him.
might kill us given the opportunity. And that the best thing to do is just to cease being on his radar.
I don't think he's the kind of guy that is going to drop us off his radar after being called
Because
a
that's how
Nazi.
you are.
He was very pissed when you guys called
No,
him a Nazi.
you were.
No, I was
You're
fine
just
with you calling him a
projecting
Nazi.
all of Fletch's feelings onto him.
Look. My NPCs have thoughts and feelings too, damn it. Don't you treat them like they're not real?
I wasn't going to treat them like that. Okay.
He obviously
I mean,
has us on his mind.
The audacity of supposedly having to be saved from, creations he had under perfect control.
He probably blames us for it.
Yeah, listen. He sent a handful of misfits in order to track down the location that had our transponders. If we fuck off with our transponders, just chuck them somewhere, we're done.
How would that
That's
make
it.
him forget about us?
We don't have to. We throw away the transponders. Does he want to send another handful of worthless misfits?
We'll just recruit them.
He might. Or he might send people who aren't misfits.
Why?
It's a
Why would
possi-
he
To
escalate?
confirm that people that know too much are taken care of.
Know too much of what?
Who's the paranoid
What do we
one?
know?
It's just really dumb.
What do we know that he has to kill us for?
That they're involved?
Oh yeah, because that matters.
At this point, it matters. The whole world's ending, and it matters that the United States government was
He
putting
sent a handful of people to go check out some transponders.
No, to collect or kill us.
Yeah,
Meaning
assuming
he
we were
wanted
still
visual
there.
confirmation rather than dropping a bomb.
And if he actually cared, he wouldn't have sent fucking what's his face, Zane, and Ace.
Those are the red shirts. They're
Hey, Ace is not a red shirt, damn it.
he's the guy a week
No,
from
but
retirement. Come
He would
on.
have sent people who give a fuck.
This could work, but
which means that he doesn't have anyone to spare, Aaron. Which means that if you
Like
just
I
take
said,
advantage
this
of
is
this
the time.
opportunity,
he's in a rush. All of his forces are probably scattered right now.
Right, which
he
means
already
he is
thinks
either not going to show up, or he's going to show up with the actual good guys.
if he wants his equipment and his stuff,
Yeah,
he'll show up.
Yeah, if he wants it enough to stick out his own neck, which I would be shocked if he did.
Consider that this stuff is apparently important enough that
I
some
don't find your argument swaying.
other group within their own little government organization decided to steal it before he could get it back. It's important to him.
Riggs will also note that not everything that Dr. Knight said would be here was actually here. But he doesn't know whether Dr. Knight was lying or whether something had happened to it. There's a lot of electronic equipment, like to control the room that you called the egg room, because it's how I described it to you. And that's not here.
Right, he was seemingly so convinced it would be here that they went down there, looked for it, came back up, double-checked
Yep.
the diagram of where it should be, went back down, and then came up like, shit ain't there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being adversarial just to be adversarial at this point.
I'm not. I just really don't find any of your arguments swaying.
Well,
You have yet to say a single thing.
That's
It
what
makes
you
me
say
think that
about
trying to do
everything I
this-
try to propose.
Because they're all really bad points.
Are they?
I mean,
This
that's
sounds,
not on me.
all right. Then in that case, the week will be spent, and Jordan and Chris, you'll have to cast an opinion on this because it's kind of an important judgment call to make.
New York abstains.
It's not a valid option.
I still think we should get the transponders removed, gather up some of the corpses that are safe, burn them, and say that we were Zambos.
Just
Zamboner.
leave them somewhere.
Exactly.
I
Fuck.
feel like that's just avoiding the issue.
As of the
Exactly.
That
My
doesn't
trusty,
work.
trusty
This is a
Tony's
B
of the.
movie. The problem finds you every time. Look at the zombies.
Well, here's the thing: if this is a B movie, we also have pretty much have to do what is literally the worst, was literally the lesser plan, because that's what they would do in a B movie. We don't do the good plan because that's
the
what
crazy shit works. The reasonable stuff fails. That's
Yeah, you got-
why
you got-
Potman's so effective.
you gotta do the you gotta do the reason, you gotta do dumb shit. And at this point, Trusty Tony's just like, just get the things removed and not deal with the shit. So you're outvoted.
They're just afraid of Dr. Knight. Right?
Seriously.
That's what it is.
No, we just
They're
don't.
afraid of everything else that moves in this world.
They'll keep putting him off until the campaign ends because the old people take me down.
And then we'll win by default.
I don't think that's how it works.
You can definitely.
You don't win by not checking things off of the objective list.
Well, it's clearly not any of their objectives.
list.
I don't know what role-playing game you're playing, but that's not on my list of
The
objectives.
one
too.
with interesting shit happening.
Well, the one where interesting shit happens would be the one where you would encounter all of the encounters I designed, right? Instead of skipping them. Huh?
Most of them I've been in favor of actually confronting. The only one that I wasn't was the broken down news van or whatever,
Yep.
because shit, we're not getting stuck in traffic.
That was the one where Jordan was absent, and I had Trusty Tony say, "No, I don't want to do this." And
There was a unanimous no, so even if I had said yes, we would have kept going.
Hey, my man, ain't my problem.
That's not a solution to anything, though.
Not my house, not my problem.
Yeah, it's not my problem.
Okay, well, this is your guy that wants you dead, so it is your problem.
Right, so
Does
I'm
he
going to
want
throw
us
the
dead?
transponder away.
Yeah. No longer my problem.
then how will
He's
he
gonna roll
find?
shitty
How
and
will he
nick
find
your
you?
spine? He'll just know. He's a B-movie villain.
He'll just know.
They find this shit out.
You might be giving him too much credit. You don't even know him.
You were there for you knew you talked to him for like all of 10 minutes.
We met
All I
him
needed.
once.
And you assume he has so much pull in the United States government.
Apparently he does.
He has some pull, but doesn't
Yeah,
mean he
what's
has-
left of it?
Enough pull to have his own control over military forces.
You know how easy that you know how easy
Enough pull to send, what, 5 guys after us?
6?
Yeah, it couldn't be 5. That'd be copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Like that matters.
Be like the A team over here, but we can't be the A team.
There aren't 5 people in the A-team.
I was referring to the restaurant.
Okay.
5 guys, choppers, and fries.
Chops. Write that down.
Can't even deal.
Silly man, you don't eat choppers.
Sure.
There has to be some food item nicknamed a chopper.
Sure.
We can make one.
Yes, it's your world now in this post-apocalyptic environment.
This
Mhm.
wasteland world.
Oh god, I put food chopper into Google and I got the slap chop.
Here's the problem, Ryan. You're trying to be the most logical and over-encompassing. You're so genre-savvy. The
Well,
others
it's not
that-
even just that, it's that I have optimism and everybody else has doomed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
How am
definitely
I the
what
one
it
here
is.
with optimism?
I love this.
Yeah, no, we're the ones dooming ourselves because
I'm
we're
the one
taking what
that's
we
like,
see
yeah, I
as the
think-
safer route.
I'm the one that says, yeah, I think we can do this, and I'm supposed to be the negative person here.
Yeah.
Who said you were supposed to be the negative one here?
Yeah, man.
Grimith knows.
I know, but the rambling man persona, it forbids you from...
You're so positive about everything. I think we got this.
I have to be optimistic because, we'll be fine. Like, don't worry
we'll
about
be
it.
fine, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
You can
You're
believe-
overthinking it. Like, come on, shit works out.
It's okay, it's just life. We all get through it.
Look at the roadblock. Shit works out. I had a
Check.
-8 on that roll. Shit works out.
I think my highlight of the session was the joke about the 2 forklifts. I did have a moment there where I thought, fuck, I wish I had thought of that!
Yeah.
I would have lost it.
And that's when Cyberlek, the villain, just crawls up from beneath the forklift, glares at Fletch.
So you thought you had killed me?
Clenching him
With
on
a
the clenching
grenade
with
launcher.
hand.
No, it's my time. This is my
my time.
moment. Yes, it's...
He's got shit from books that we're not even allowed to look at.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Maybe I can offer a, one final compelling argument here, one way or the other.
Hey, he has a
Okay,
toe.
cool. Nice argument.
There can be only one doctor, so obviously Tony has to take this guy on.
Yeah.
I think his head just exploded.
And besides, if you
You'd
don't
probably
confront
survive
Dr.
that.
Knight or try to contact, then you might not meet your greatest adversary. This is Dr. Trusty Tony Ramirez's greatest adversary.
MacGyver.
Lucian Thorm, wow, he is so smooth. Gotta have a
Shove DC.
We have to have a smooth off.
This can only be solved through one thing. Douchebag.
Sleaze?
Yeah. Who can be the sleaziest?
It'll be like a Dragon Ball Z episode where they're like charging up their sleeves and fighting each other.
Oh, I feel greasy now.
Don't you want to see that potentially happen?
I am the Alpha and the Omega.
Omega?
It's like,
And
I think you got that one wrong there.
Did you mean Amiga?
I am the bacon in the fridge for all those who cry out in hunger.
Well, that sounds delicious and all, but
I
don't
am the
think we're
light
talking about the
bulb
same
in the
stuff here.
darkness.
I don't think we're talking about the same stuff here.
you're just starting to sound crazy.
I will drown you like a sack of dumb puppies.
Dumb puppies.
That's right.
Don't
Only
talk
the dumb
about Potman's dogs like that.
Hey,
Oh, now I gotta drown Pavan's puppies.
no.
Like that, no.
As the kitten sits there and watches in approval.
Yes.
The kid's just like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slowly nodding.
Good.
Go on.
That's right.
Oh,
The kitten is
Continue.
the kitten is actually Dr. Knight because you didn't meet the kitten until after you stopped meeting Dr. Knight.
Perfect
the
logic.
kitten had the transponder in it.
Hey, you better kill the kitten.
Son of a bitch! It was Plan E.
It was a
Yeah,
tracking
Fletch
kitten.
better kill the kitten. Just be safe. Just be sure.
Plan E stands no chance against the F team. Or are they on the G team now? I keep forgetting how far we're going down here.
Look,
Pretty
you
full.
initially called them the C team. That's what it's being stuck with. They don't degrade an alphabet ranking. Just
I
because you
think
say
we're the
so.
F
Are you
team, 'cause
sure?
We're fucked.
Oh boy! Now you just broke my Java. The end.
The end.